Scientists filmed an orca pod rehearsing a hunting move for 6 weeks with no food reward, purely practice. Welcome back to Relaxing Facts Studio, where we drift calmly through the wonders of the natural world. Today, we follow these intelligent hunters beneath the waves, observing their precision, coordination, and quiet social lessons. As we watch, notice the subtle strategies, the patience, and the rhythm of life moving seamlessly through the ocean. Every movement tells a story, every wave carries insight, and every detail invites you to pause, reflect, and marvel softly at the delicate balance of nature, all from the comfort of your screen. Orca pods gather near the shoreline, their black and white forms gliding silently beneath the surface, eyes focused on the shifting water. They angle themselves just right, waiting for the perfect moment to push a wave toward a resting seal. A single wave wash can send a 300-kilogram seal soaring 10 meters through the air, landing back on the beach with a soft splash. Across the fjords of Norway, orcas herd herring into tight, swirling bait balls, then strike with their tail flukes, moving faster than 50 miles per hour, creating bursts of silver that shimmer in the muted sunlight. In New Zealand, some pods tilt sharks upside down, a subtle technique that triggers tonic immobility, a quiet pause in the predator, allowing the orcas to claim their prey without struggle. Antarctic orcas move in seamless synchronization, 7 or more animals sliding together beneath ice floes, generating waves strong enough to flip slabs of ice, a careful and measured choreography. Each pod develops its own strategies. 2 pods only 20 miles apart may hunt the same species entirely differently, a silent testament to learned behavior. Calves practice these motions for up to 2 years, mimicking wave washes on empty beaches, learning the rhythm and timing before ever attempting it on live prey. Off Patagonia, some orcas intentionally beach themselves, a subtle behavior passed only through specific family lines, a subtle interplay of guidance and observation. On rare occasions, a pod has surrounded a single blue whale for 6 hours, rotating attackers to manage fatigue, while other pods specialize entirely on sharks, never touching fish or seals. Watching them rehearse is observing patience and precision, an intricate balance of strength and timing, each movement flowing into the next, as if the ocean itself is their teaching, quiet and deliberate, leaving a calm sense of harmony lingering over the cold waters. 2 orca pods glide through the same stretch of water, passing each other without a sound, each bound by its own set of calls. Resident orcas carry dialects, unique sequences of whistles and pulsed calls passed down across generations, so that a calf born today can still use the same core calls as its great-great-grandmother. These calls move through the water, sometimes traveling up to 16 kilometers, allowing families to communicate long before they can see one another. Transient orcas, in contrast, remain almost completely silent when hunting, a quiet contrast to the constant vocalizing of resident pods. Within a single pod, researchers have identified dozens of distinct poll types, each serving a purpose, identity, emotion, navigation. Yet no 2 pods share the same full repertoire. When pods meet, there's a careful ritual,
a greeting ceremony, slow and deliberate, as they line up side by side, approaching in parallel, a subtle display of recognition. Their echolocation clicks fire at thousands of pulses per second, building a detailed three-dimensional map of the surrounding waters, revealing the shapes of underwater terrain, the movement of fish, even the faint presence of other marine mammals. Some individuals display remarkable adaptability, like a lone female who learned to mimic bottlenose dolphin calls after years living among them, blending her sounds to join a different social world. Over decades, a pod's dialect shifts gradually, a slow drift comparable to human languages, retaining continuity while subtly evolving. You might notice something here. The water itself carries these sounds, shaping the rhythm of the pod, guiding their movements and connecting them invisibly. There's a quiet detail worth noticing in the way each call, each click links family members across distance and time, a calm thread weaving through the ocean, soft and continuous, marking both identity and belonging.
An orca surfaces slowly, its eye catching a reflection in the calm water. It pauses, turning its head, and in that quiet moment, the mirrored image becomes more than a shape. It is recognized. This ability to pass the mirror self-recognition test is shared with great apes, yet orcas retain it throughout life, even into their 40s. Their brains are remarkable, weighing over 5.5 kilograms, second only among marine mammals in relative size, with intricate folds that suggest a capacity for sophisticated social processing. Within these folds lies a paralimbic lobe absent in humans, possibly supporting deep emotional understanding and social awareness, a subtle but profound difference. Observing a pod, you notice how orcas adjust in real time, changing strategies mid-hunt as prey reacts, demonstrating problem-solving that extends beyond instinct or routine. Mothers guide calves patiently, correcting technique across several attempts, teaching not only the act, but the nuance of it, a quiet passing of knowledge. Orcas play, too, without immediate survival need, surfing wakes, tossing seaweed, chasing birds, small gestures that hint at curiosity and engagement with the world. Some use tools, kelp pressed against unreachable areas of the body, showing a grasp of cause and effect in a tactile, intentional way. Captive orcas have been known to mimic human speech, shaping sounds into greetings like hello and bye-bye, a gentle reflection of adaptability and awareness. Problem-solving extends socially as well. Solutions discovered by one individual can be communicated and taught to members who were absent, weaving intelligence into the fabric of the pod. You might notice something subtle here. Every movement, every glance is part of an ongoing conversation with the environment and each other, a layered intelligence flowing calmly through the ocean currents. A grandmother orca glides slowly near the surface, her presence steady and commanding as the pod follows her lead. She has guided this group for decades,
remembering the hidden salmon streams she first learned long ago, her knowledge quietly shaping the survival of multiple generations. Male orcas remain close, never leaving her pod, relying on her memory and decisions for direction and sustenance. Her experience becomes especially valuable after she passes menopause, a rare stage in the animal kingdom shared only with humans and pilot whales, allowing her to focus entirely on guiding and teaching rather than reproduction. She may be 80 years old, yet she still directs hunts, signaling subtly when to approach, when to wait, when to spread out across the water to corral fish. There's a quiet detail worth noticing. Her sons are particularly dependent on her. Studies show that after the death of a grandmother, her sons are far more likely to die within the following year, while daughters do not show the same pattern. The pod's efficiency at locating salmon diminishes measurably without her guidance, revealing the depth of her influence. Grandmothers also share the salmon they catch, often giving preferentially to grandchildren, strengthening the link between knowledge, food, and survival. Her memory spans generations, making her 3 generations older than the youngest calves she leads, a living bridge between past and present. The family moves together, each individual tuned to her signals, each movement a reflection of experience handed down slowly and deliberately. You might notice something subtle here. In these calm waters, her leadership is invisible yet tangible, a steady pulse of wisdom, shaping the rhythm of the pod, guiding life through knowledge carried in one matriarch's long-lived mind.
A single dorsal fin breaks the surface, its saddle patch captured for just 2 seconds by a hovering drone. The shape is unique, and machine learning identifies it with remarkable precision, linking that moment to a catalog of over 300 individual orcas documented over years. Across the same waters, hydrophone networks listen quietly beneath the waves, neural networks analyzing the pulses of a pod's calls and predicting their location 30 minutes in advance. Subtle sounds, often ultrasonic, reveal call types that human ears cannot detect, expanding the map of communication hidden within the ocean. Small satellite tags, attached gently with suction cups, transmit position updates every 15 minutes for months, allowing researchers to track movements without intrusion, following migrations and hunting paths as they unfold naturally. AI mapping of social networks shows the flow of information between pods, spreading almost like a viral post, connecting family groups in ways that were invisible before. Acoustic monitoring also informs conservation. Vessel routes are adjusted in real time to reduce the risk of ship strikes, a quiet protection woven into daily ocean traffic. Thermal drone imaging captures breathing patterns, revealing subtle signs of health without disturbing the animals, while long-term data sets combined with machine learning predict salmon runs more accurately than traditional models, shaping human understanding around natural rhythms. After the loss of a matriarch, AI can detect measurable changes in a pod's calls, subtle signals of grief that ripple through the group, while bioacoustic analysis distinguishes the voice of a calf from an adult, tracking the progression of learning and vocal complexity. You might notice something here. Every signal, every movement is being gently observed, measured, and understood, creating a calm, detailed map of life beneath the surface where technology and nature merge in quiet harmony.
Port and starboard move silently through the cool waters off South Africa, gliding close together as they search for sharks. Their technique is precise and practiced, targeting livers with surgical accuracy while leaving the rest of the body untouched. A single shark liver, rich with over 60 liters of oil, offers a dense and sustaining meal, fueling their strength and energy. Great whites, normally apex predators themselves, abandon the area within hours, sometimes not returning for months, their usual routes shifting in response to the presence of these orcas. The two hunters use a subtle method to subdue sharks, tipping them into tonic immobility, a state the sharks themselves employ when attacking smaller prey, allowing the orcas to maintain control with minimal struggle. Other species are not spared. Seven-gill, blue, and mako sharks have all been targeted, each encounter revealing the flexibility and precision of the pair's strategy. Bite marks confirm the pattern: intact bodies with only the livers removed, a quiet testament to skill honed outside of the pod, learned during adulthood. Satellite tracking shows the ripple effect across the ocean, migration routes of great whites shifting measurably, a dynamic response to two individuals operating in sync. There's a quiet detail worth noticing. The coordination between port and starboard is seamless, almost intuitive, a silent partnership unfolding in real time beneath the waves. Each movement is deliberate, each adjustment measured, shaping both the predator-prey balance and the broader behavior of sharks across the region. You might pause on the thought of how knowledge and technique flow through these waters, carried not by numbers, but by understanding and timing, a calm precision that leaves its mark on the ocean long after the orcas have moved on. Tahlequah glided through the calm waters, her calf resting motionless against her side, carried along more than 1,600 kilometers over 17 days. Other pod members stayed close, nudging the calf gently to keep it afloat, their movements synchronized in a quiet, collective effort. The ocean stretched endlessly around them, the horizon soft and muted, reflecting the slow, deliberate pace of the pod. Each day brought small adjustments in position, subtle shifts in direction, as if the pod itself were navigating both the currents and the weight of loss. You might notice something here. Mother orcas stop calling for days after a calf dies, and the rest of the pod lowers their call frequency too, a quiet change in the rhythm of sound that echoes across the water. There's a subtle detail behind this behavior. Post-mortem carrying has been observed in multiple populations across oceans, suggesting that the bond between mother and calf and the social cohesion of the pod extends beyond immediate survival. After finally releasing her calf, Tahlequah was soon seen engaging in energetic play, leaping and rolling alongside her family, a gentle shift that may signal release or acceptance, a way to restore balance within the pod. Sites where pod members died, sometimes revisited years later, quiet markers in the ocean, remembered by those left behind. Calf survival rates remain low in the first months, making each young life precious, and each loss felt deeply within the pod's intricate social network. Tahlequah's story continued, and 2 years later she gave birth again, her new calf joining the rhythms of the pod, a reminder that life persists in calm, enduring cycles, marked by memory, care, and connection that flow quietly beneath the surface. A wild orca glides effortlessly through open water, moving with long, steady strokes that carry it up to 160 kilometers in a single day. The dorsal fin cuts cleanly through the surface, rarely collapsing, a quiet contrast to the familiar image of captive males, where fin collapse is almost universal. Divers have reported playful approaches, brief curiosity followed by retreat, a gentle acknowledgement of presence without aggression. In the wild, fatal encounters with humans have never been documented, a calm testament to the balance maintained in natural habitats. Captive environments, in contrast, compress life into small enclosures, often smaller than a hotel pool, limiting movement to under 1 kilometer per day and triggering repetitive behaviors like head bobbing and circling. Lifespans reflect this difference as well. Wild females may reach 80 or 90 years, while the median for captive orcas rarely exceeds 12, a stark reduction shaped by confinement. Calls in wild populations remain diverse, a rich language flowing through the pod, while isolation in captivity reduces this variety, a quiet shrinking of communication over time. Cases like Tilikum illustrate the consequences of prolonged confinement, a single individual involved in multiple fatal incidents over decades of enclosure. You might notice something subtle here. The patterns of movement, sound, and social behavior are shaped as much by freedom as by species traits. Legislative changes, such as Canada's 2019 amendment to the Marine Mammal Protection Act, banning the captivity of orcas and dolphins, reflect an awareness of these needs, aiming to preserve natural behaviors and lifespans. In open water, orcas navigate currents and currents of social knowledge, their lives measured in distance, sound, and family, a calm rhythm maintained by the environment itself, far removed from the pressures of confinement.
Orcas circle slowly near the Strait of Gibraltar, their sleek bodies cutting through the calm waters as they approach a sailboat. One juvenile reaches the trailing edge of the rudder, nudging it gently at first, then spinning it with careful precision. Other members of the pod follow, some observing, others joining in, repeating the motion along the hull, yet never touching the sails or the crew. The behavior is selective. Motorboats, fishing vessels, and yachts are left untouched, focused entirely on the rudder as if it were part of a game. White Glottis, a young female, is thought to have initiated this pattern, and it spread through observation, a subtle example of social learning within the pod. Between 2020 and 2024, over 700 interactions were recorded, each showing the orca's curiosity expressed in a playful, non-aggressive way. You might notice something here. When the boat stops, the orcas disengage, circling away without approaching humans, a quiet demonstration that the activity is not intended as harm. Juveniles between 4 and 12 years old participate most, coinciding with the peak of playful behavior seen in other contexts, from tail slaps to chasing waves.
Authorities in Spain and Portugal advise sailors to cut motors and wait, allowing the orcas to disengage naturally, a calm response aligning with the animal's intentions. The pod itself is critically endangered, fewer than 40 individuals, each behavior observed and recorded carefully, contributing to a growing understanding of culture and learning among orcas. Every movement, from the gentle nudging to the coordinated spins of the rudder, carries both curiosity and skill, a subtle social lesson repeated across the water. There's a quiet detail worth noticing. The interaction flows smoothly, a rhythm between human presence and wild intelligence, playful and deliberate, yet never threatening, quietly marking the boundary between curiosity and care.
A southern resident orca glides through the cool waters of the Pacific Northwest, following routes memorized over decades, searching for salmon that have shifted deeper and earlier with rising ocean temperatures. Each movement is measured, yet subtle frustration may ripple through the pod as familiar hunting grounds yield fewer fish than expected. These orcas eat significantly less than they did 50 years ago, a decline mirrored by shrinking salmon populations, illustrating a delicate balance where the presence of predators and prey shapes the entire ecosystem. Their feces fertilize phytoplankton, fueling a nutrient loop that supports countless species, from tiny zooplankton to larger fish, creating a web that flows quietly through the ocean. Noise from shipping lanes adds another layer of stress. During peak seasons, stress hormone levels in orcas triple, affecting hunting efficiency and social behaviors, a subtle but measurable harm that echoes across generations. Recovery of populations depends on both abundant prey and calm acoustic conditions, each element interacting with the other in a rhythm that maintains life beneath the waves. Proposals such as removing Snake River dams aim to restore salmon availability, potentially supporting additional orcas and helping the ecosystem regain its natural balance. Monitoring programs detect temperature shifts and anomalies months before standard ocean sensors, allowing for early observation of changing conditions. You might notice something subtle here. The survival of these orcas is intertwined with the health of the entire marine system, and their decline is a signal that human activity, climate, and habitat management all converge beneath the surface. Quiet conservation efforts and careful management ripple outward, giving the ecosystem a chance to restore its rhythm and giving these intelligent hunters the space to thrive once more. As the pod drifts beneath the gentle waves, we are reminded of the quiet intelligence, beauty, and harmony that orcas bring to the oceans. Thank you for taking this journey with us today. If you haven't subscribed yet, joining our channel ensures you won't miss future explorations of the natural world. A like helps the video reach more viewers, while sharing it on your social media spreads the calm and wonder to others. Leave a comment to share your thoughts or reflections from this episode. Your feedback shapes our stories. With your support, Relaxing Facts Studio will continue to grow, bringing more moments of discovery and serenity for everyone to enjoy.